Hi everyone, it is Friday, December 13th, Friday the 13th. Hope you guys had a good week. This is Liam McMahon with a daily moving average video. Gotta change that title. It's really a daily price action video with moving averages on the charts. We're going to talk about what has turned out to be very interesting Thursday night to Friday. Preview a little bit about what we're going to see next week with the FOMC decision and go from there. So, please take a moment to read over the risk disclaimer, which should now be on your screen. Pause the recording if necessary, then we'll begin. Okay, we're going to start with this chart. This chart comes from a Daily FX article that I wrote. It is published. You can find it on my Twitter feed or on the dailyfx.com page. This is the Nikkei is in red and green, and dollar yen is in yellow. I talked about this being why I said last night I was very skeptical of this dollar yen move higher. And sure enough, it faded quite nicely. I didn't short it. I might be looking to take shorts at the beginning of next week. We'll see exactly how we close out today. But the reason, all right, that I was hesitant is, all right, we saw dollar yen spike higher. You can see that in yellow. All right, we touched about a high of 103.90 or something like that, right? Just about 104, maybe just above 104 actually, before falling lower. But as we spiked higher, you can see the Nikkei here in green and red did not follow it higher. All right, so we got no confirmation from the Nikkei. In fact, we have significant bearish divergence here on Nikkei on the RSI. So that's the reason that I was hesitant about that. The other reason is if we go to just a plain dollar yen chart, these are 4-hour charts. Okay, dollar yen, again, some significant RSI divergence here on the 4-hour chart. So we'll see. I'm waiting to see what the daily candle's like. All right, if we click out to the daily chart, we have RSI divergence here on the daily. If we get a nice reversal candle, which we're not, this I wouldn't count as. I want like really close on or near the lows. I would consider taking a short with a stop above the highs at the beginning of next week. With, of course, the recognition that Wednesday is the FOMC meeting. It is the year's most important FOMC meeting because we haven't tapered yet, and we may on Wednesday. I am in the not December camp. I don't think we'll see them taper in December, but I'm not a strong advocate either way. I wouldn't be surprised no matter what we see, really. So expect a lot of volatility. All right, the last I've seen is about 50-50. Economists saying taper, no taper on Wednesday. So no matter what the decision is, we're going to see a lot of volatility, a lot of dollar craziness, a lot of equities, a lot of bonds, all moving kind of bizarrely. So next week could be a little bit dicey for trading, especially Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So sort of just bear that in mind. Next week would be a good week to take a couple trades at the beginning of the week, put them at break even, and then just go away for a while. So we'll see exactly what we get. All right, so we're off the daily chart. 4-hour chart of euro dollar. Confirmation, of course. Dollar yen. Confirmation, of course, would be break of this trend line. That would get us started, but we'll see. Let's take a look at euro. Euro been active this morning. Bounced really nicely here off this 50 EMA. It's sold off then again since then. It's down just under 1/5%. You can make a head and shoulders argument here pretty easily. Okay. So we'll see if we close under there. We'll see. Major support levels are 136.50 and then 136 even. Basically, these 100, that's the 100 and 200 period EMAs, and they correspond pretty nicely with these ascending trend lines. So watch those levels going into next week. Pound dollar has been weak today. It's down over 0.3%. Head and shoulders break. It did not draw out that right shoulder as much as I wanted it to. The major support area is 162.40, 162.35-ish. That retest of that range break, and then the 200 period EMA on the 4-hour chart. Whereas resistance, of course, is this neckline test and the 100 period EMA. So pretty nice 100, 200 levels here to keep your eye on. I don't have a particular bias on pound dollar right now. If early in the week I got an opportunity to buy it at this 162.30 level, I'd probably take that. But other than that, I don't have a strong trading plan for that. I got a request for euro yen. Euro yen starting to try to break down again, but for right now, it really just looks like another correction here. All right, we overlapped a little bit. in terms of we broke back below this previous high, so that's not great. But as long as we really keep this previous low intact, I don't see anything to get that excited about for Euro Yen shorts. Again, a little bit. We'll see how the daily candle closes. But really it needs to for me to be interested in shorting Euro Yen, it needs to bearish engulf this yesterday's candle. So it really needs to close below 140, below 141. Pound yen is actually interesting here. Let's take a look here at the 4-hour chart. Okay, pound yen is, if it wasn't Friday, I think about shorting it here. We broke out of this wedge. Kind of got to make this line a little bit more precise. Okay, and we're now retesting. I'm not going to short it because it is Friday, and also because the rest of the yen pairs haven't really broken down yet, so pound yen could really be just a false flag. Could be heading higher. But that's another one to watch. If we do manage to get a little bit more of an enthusiastic break below this wedge, that is a short to watch. I had a request for dollar CAD. Dollar CAD selling off here this afternoon, morning to afternoon. Approaching a pretty decent support level, actually right here at about 106. So watch 106 for a move back up to the upside. Really though, pound CAD looks very constructive. I do expect new highs for pound. Well, I can't say that. If absent the FOMC on Wednesday, and maybe even end of the year flows, I would be expecting new highs for dollar CAD because of how well we held this 50% fib. Projected new high above about 107, or about really 108, 108.25. But because of all the volatility we have and the way that this pair can just suck sometimes and really just be it's not a trending pair, all right? It tends to chop a lot. You can see all back in this area, it didn't accomplish anything. It started to revert, catch a little bit of a bid. So, I mean, I'm biased to the upside from a macro perspective for sure, but this is one I'm going to be leaving alone, I think, for the rest of the year. And, you know, probably into next year. I don't trade it very often anymore because it really just has been awful to trade. Aussie dollar. Okay, major resistance is at 90. If we get back above 90, all right, we can talk about maybe the bottom being in. Until that point, though, I'm not interested. Euro Aussie 152-ish is a good support level. All right. Again, I don't have a great interest in Euro Aussie either. It's a little bit squeezy. I don't have a great desire to touch it. This is dollar Swiss. I still am looking for dollar Swiss to break up to the upside. We seem to be flagging here after we broke above these previous highs, or this previous, not really previous highs, this previous resistance. So I'm hoping that at the beginning of next week we see some acceleration to the upside on this pair, dragging with it some of the Swiss crosses. CAD Swiss, of course, doing very well today as we saw dollar CAD strength. So CAD Swiss gets above 84.10, and that could really start to move up at least another 100 pips or so. Swiss pairs have some work to do to get back up to the upside, but they are giving it a go, at least right now. Kiwi dollar, 82 is your major support, 83.15 or so is your major resistance. I am just going to play the breakout, and I probably won't even play the breakout. This pair has been awful lately. Lots of chopping, lots of sharp movements that quickly are faded. I think there's just been better places to put your money than Kiwi, but this is a very attractive triangle, and I will be watching it fairly carefully. All right, so that's about what I've got for you. E-minis, I think, do have the potential to continue to waterfall a little bit lower. As we're out of this wedge, we're below the 200 period EMA here on the 4-hour chart. Click over to the daily. All right, we're testing the 50-day. It held on the first test, but I mean, so far it's been a fairly anemic bounce. So we'll see. But I think E-minis do have some potential to the downside here. I think it's worth watching for that. All right, so that's what I got for you. I hope you guys have an absolutely terrific weekend. Good luck with the rest of Friday the 13th. And remember, of course, that next week is crazy. So keep your risk at the beginning of next week very, very tight.